This couldn't come at a better time. I'm taking you to Oahu for a conversation with Dr. Theresa Wee. Oh my gosh, I had a conversation with her off the air and I was so pumped up and I scribbled so many notes that the hub saw me and he said, "What's going on? You're like glowing." I said, "I just talked to Dr. Wee and she actually gave me some great ideas and she's going to give you some great ideas." And her book is a game changer, my friends. The Happy, Healthy Revolution, the Working Parent's Guide to Achieve Wellness as a Family Unit. But I'm telling you, I think if you're single, you could totally use it too. So we welcome her to Author's Corner here on America Tonight with me, Kate Delaney. Dr. Wee, oh, you are such a delight. And it is so great to introduce you to the listeners. So Happy New Year.
Yes. Aloha, Kate. Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, aloha back to you. Tell me the road to writing this book. What took you down this path?
You know, for myself, I was a working mother and I was working in private practice 6 days a week on call 24/7. And at the age of 40, with 4 children under the age of 10, I fell into a deep depression. I didn't even know I was depressed. My husband was an internal medicine doctor. I suddenly, for 1 year, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, and I thought, what is going on? I finally self-diagnosed myself. I read the major signs of depression, and I diagnosed myself as being depressed and immediately got help. Within a couple of weeks, I was feeling myself again. But it was just such an enormous task to be a working mom, as well as, trying to, just juggle everything and keep it in the air. My mother was a social worker with a master's degree, but after she started having us 4 kids, she quit work. So I never even had role models of how mothers could combine a career. And so this started my journey to helping my patients in my office deal with this.
And how do we do it? What do we do? What are we doing wrong? And I think there's a lot, like not exercising and not eating well.
You know, what I believe is that because we have to work 1 or 2 jobs and maybe we're taking care of an elderly parent, as a parent, we're so divided. And so my whole theory and the way I solved this problem is I had to sit down with my husband and my 4 kids and say, okay, guys, I can't do this by myself. We need to work as a family. So to me, the reason why I think that my idea has caught on is we need to go back as a family unit and really reconnect and work together as a team. It's always better together as a team.
Boy, I so agree with that. And in your book, you talk about like fun ways to get your family moving more. Because I just mentioned that we see that, you're the doctor. How many kids do you see with obesity? I mean, it's really sad.
That's one of the things that I'm so passionate about. Pediatric obesity is top of the health crises that we have to deal with right now. We are now seeing that 2 out of 3 of American children are either overweight or obese. This is the first generation of children who are going to be more unhealthy than their parents. And in my practice, I've been in practice for, next year will be 40 years, but I've seen the trend where teens now have adult chronic illnesses like pre-diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol. So this is not good for America. And we need to sit down and figure out what can we do to help our children. But when we do that, we need to include the entire family in order to be successful.
Yeah. One of the things you also talk about, Dr. Wee, in your book, you talk about family goals, individual goals. Somebody told me a long time ago, if you don't have a plan, plan to fail, right?
Right. So I think it's important where, first of all, we just have to find 5 minutes a day where we just sit down as a family. It could be at a family dinner, or what our family used to do is just before everyone went to sleep, we sat in a circle. We called it Talk About the Day. And so we just need to reconnect, turn off the screens, look each other in person, eye to eye, and really say, guys, we can't keep going on like this. This is so unhealthy. Let's think about, one thing that we want to do. So think about a goal or the direction that you want to go to. But in addition to that, what's important is not necessarily the goal, like, oh, we're going to exercise more. I want people at this New Year's time to think about, what do you want your family to look like? Like, what is that new family looking like? In other words, I want our family to exercise more. So, then what you can do is set specific time, date, and say, we're going to walk 5 minutes after dinner, all of us. And then you just do it. And so if you're specific and you have a certain time, we can start to develop a little habit. After 7 days, a habit becomes more in place. And then after a month or two, then it's more permanent.
Oh, I like that, to make it more permanent. And again, the name of the book is The Happy, Healthy Revolution, The Working Parent's Guide to Achieve Wellness as a Family Unit. You can get the book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever great books are sold. What about the meals? What about the actual food?
It's right now we live in a world where, fast foods are very common and cheap. But I tell families, why don't you get the entire family involved? I used to actually sit down with the weekly food ads, and I would tell the kids to circle the vegetable or fruit that was in season or on sale. I would actually take them shopping. We'd come home, they would help me unpack, wash the fruits, help me cook. Or the other thing we did is we actually grew little cherry tomatoes or green onions, or I got them involved in the whole process. So that's one way of eating a little bit healthier. The other way is you can actually go and buy a McDonald's, like say the hamburger only, bring it home, but then you can pour the milk, you can add your lettuce, tomato, you can add a green salad, you can add a fruit for dessert. So you can always alter the fast food so that it becomes a healthier choice.
Yeah, I like that. What do you hope people take away from reading your book?
What I want people to know is that no matter what state your family health is in, whether it's yourself, your children, it's never too late. And even though you may not even have a child who is obese, if they have bad habits, it will eventually, whatever habits we're developing as children or teens, these are the habits that will continue into adult life. So what I tell parents is, I want you to be the role model. I want the whole family to be all in on this project. And I want you to equip your children with tools, to take with them when they go to high school and college and they become adults or parents. They will know how to shop wisely, how to choose wisely, how to cook, how to sit down as a family and have a family meal. These these are the most precious gifts we can give our children.
Boy, no kidding. I so agree with that. And you got to tell us about this. I mean, you're busy. You did 2 best-selling books already. You cook, you do water aerobics, you bike, you read. It seems like you do it all, including walk with a doc Oahu. Wow, what a great program. I hope other doctors could do the same thing that are probably listening to this show in other states. What prompted that, and what's that been like?
Well, so 13 years ago, my husband passed away suddenly and unexpectedly. And I was actually faced with, should I continue being a doctor or should I quit medicine? After 3 months, I said, you know what? I'm 55 years old. It's not time to quit. I think there's still a little bit in me that can move forward. It just so happened that I hired an office manager, and she asked me, what is your passion? And I said, my passion has always been to help my obese families. And so I started doing family workshops for free on Saturday afternoon. So working 6 days a week, half days on Saturday, I actually started doing family workshops to help treat and prevent obesity. And it was so popular, but I was getting so burnt out. So instead of the family workshops, I said, I want to do something for the entire community. And so I started my nonprofit about 8 years ago called Walk with a Doc Oahu. Sure, getting a little exercise and education. And I've just been so happy with the program, which is really an international program. It's in 35 countries and and there's almost 600 walking groups across the world.
Wow, I love it that you're doing that. Dr. Wee, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Kate.